Spicy ladies. Have you ever felt like a guy is acting a little too interested in you? Almost like he's obsessed, but he won't admit it? You catch him staring at you a little too long, remembering tiny details about you that even you forgot, or always coincidentally showing up where you are. What if I told you that men have certain behaviors they just can't hide when they're secretly obsessed with a woman? If you miss these signs, you might never realize the power you have over him. Stay with me till the end, because some of these signs might completely change the way you see him. And one of them is so intense that if you recognize it, you'll know he's obsessed without him ever saying a word. But before we dive in, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe and join our amazing Spicy Lady soulful intimacy by using Spicy Lady technique and philosophical quotes about life, where we uncover the secrets of love, intimacy in relationships, and everything in between. Hit that button and let's grow together. Let's jump in, let's get one thing straight. Obsession isn't always a bad thing. In a healthy form, it means a man is deeply invested in you, cherishes your presence, and wants to be a part of your life. But if this obsession starts feeling overwhelming, controlling, or suffocating, it could be a red flag. So, as you go through these signs, ask yourself, does this feel sweet and genuine, or does it feel a little too much? And trust me, sign number 10 will tell you everything you need to know. Number 1, he's always trying to be around you. Have you ever noticed that no matter where you go, he's just there? Almost like the universe keeps placing him in your path. But let's be honest, this isn't just a coincidence. If you work together, he somehow always finds a reason to walk by your desk, even if his job has nothing to do with your department. If you're at the gym, he just happens to be working out at the exact time you do, even though last month he swore he was not a morning person. In social settings, he naturally gravitates toward you, even if the room is filled with other people. But here's where things get really interesting. If he starts changing his schedule to match yours, like suddenly taking lunch breaks when you do, switching to your preferred coffee shop, or even enrolling in a class he never showed interest in before, that's not by accident. That's a sign he's low-key obsessed. And the biggest giveaway? If you try to avoid him, does he still manage to pop up around you? If you switch your routine, does he coincidentally change his too? A guy who's secretly obsessed will go out of his way, sometimes without even realizing it, just to be in your presence. Because for him, being near you isn't just a choice, it's a need. The more you notice it, the more obvious it becomes. Number 2, he always wants to impress you. Have you ever noticed that around you, he just acts differently? He sits up straighter, chooses his words more carefully, and suddenly he's got all these amazing stories about his achievements. One minute, he's casually mentioning his recent promotion, and the next, he's subtly flexing how he can cook an incredible steak, something he's never brought up before. And let's talk about his style. Maybe he used to wear whatever was comfortable, but now suddenly he's rocking colors you once mentioned liking, switching up his hairstyle, or even wearing a cologne that just so happens to be your favorite scent. Why does he do this? Simple, he craves your validation. When a man is secretly obsessed, he needs you to see him as special, as someone who stands out from every other guy. Your opinion holds so much weight in his mind that he'll go to great lengths to prove himself, whether that's through his skills, knowledge, or even his sense of humor. But here's where things get really interesting. If he starts mirroring your interests, that's a huge clue. Suddenly, he's listening to your favorite music, binge-watching your favorite shows, and even picking up on your catchphrases. It's not just random. It's his subconscious way of making you feel like he's the perfect match for you. But before I give you these signs today, let me request you to hit that subscribe button. Please do it right now if you love my content, if you love what I do. I bless your heart. The only way for you to support me is to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe right now to my YouTube channel as a sign of goodwill for the content that I share with you so freely. I really appreciate it. Number 3, his mood shifts depending on how you treat him. Ever feel like you have complete control over his emotions without even trying? One moment he's energetic and excited, but the next he seems distant and off. When you look closer, you realize his mood is directly tied to how much attention you give him. If you take a little longer to reply to his texts, he suddenly seems down or unusually quiet. But the moment you respond, it's like a switch flips. He's instantly back to his cheerful, playful self. It's almost as if your presence alone determines whether he's having a good or bad day. And here's the real giveaway. Even when you're not around, he still feels your presence. Maybe his friends notice that he's distracted, constantly checking his phone or lost in thought. If you've ever had a guy text you, "Hey, everything okay? You seem different today," When you barely interacted with him, that's obsession. He's not just noticing your energy, he's affected by it. A man who is secretly obsessed with you doesn't just like your attention, he depends on it. Your validation, your responses, your smallest actions have a direct impact on how he feels. And the deeper his obsession grows, the more his happiness becomes tied to you. Number 4, he prioritizes you over everything. No matter what's happening in his life, work deadlines, family obligations, personal goals, if you call, he's there. If you need something, he drops everything. His time, energy, and focus all revolve around you. It might feel romantic at first, like you're his number one priority, his safe space, the most important thing in his world. But here's where things get tricky. There's a difference between a man who values you and a man who loses himself in you. A healthy relationship is built on balance. He can love you deeply while still having his own life. But if he starts skipping important commitments, ignoring his own needs, or making you the only thing that matters to him, that's when it becomes less about love and more about obsession. A man who truly loves you will make you a priority, but he won't neglect himself in the process. When his entire identity starts revolving around you, it's not devotion, it's dependency. And in the long run, that's not love, it's suffocation. Number 5, he mirrors your interests and personality. Suddenly, he's into your favorite music. He starts using your favorite phrases. He even dresses differently, all to align himself with you. This is called mirroring, and it's something people naturally do when they deeply admire someone. But when it's extreme, it's a sign of obsession. He's not just liking what you like, he's trying to become your perfect match. He studies the way you talk, picks up on your little habits, and even starts sharing the same opinions as you. If you say you love a certain book or movie, he'll magically become a fan overnight. And it doesn't stop there. His texting style starts resembling yours. He mimics your body language in conversations, and sometimes he even laughs the way you do. It's almost as if he's subconsciously molding himself into the person he thinks you'll fall for. Number 6, he gets visibly anxious when you don't reply. You don't text back for a couple of hours, and suddenly you get a double text, then a triple text, and finally a question mark. At first, it seems like he's just eager, but if this happens regularly, it's a major sign of obsession. A man who's truly obsessed needs that constant connection. The moment you go silent, he starts overthinking. Did I say something wrong? Is she ignoring me? You might notice him checking your activity, liking an old post, or sending a passive-aggressive busy today. And here's the real red flag. If he starts getting upset or acting like he's entitled to your attention, that's no longer just interest, it's an unhealthy level of attachment. Number 7, he gets jealous even over small things. A normal guy might not care if you talk to other men, but an obsessed one might subtly, or not so subtly, try to steer the conversation away, change the subject, or even start acting differently. Even if he doesn't say it outright, you can feel the tension when he sees you with another guy. His whole energy shifts. He suddenly goes quiet, cracks a sarcastic joke, or starts acting extra distant. And if you mention another guy too often, don't be surprised if he mysteriously dislikes him, even without a real reason. His jealousy isn't just about protecting you, it's about wanting you all to himself. When a man is obsessed, his world starts to revolve around you. His actions, his emotions, even his personality begin to shift just to match yours. While attention and admiration can feel flattering, there's a big difference between genuine love and unhealthy attachment. Obsession isn't about liking you, it's about needing you. And when someone needs you to feel happy, it can quickly become suffocating. A healthy relationship is built on mutual attraction, not one person losing themselves just to keep the other interested. So ask yourself, is he truly into you for who you are, or is he just afraid of losing you? Because real love doesn't come from fear, it comes from connection, respect, and balance. And if you ever feel like his obsession is crossing the line, trust your gut. A man who values you won't cling to you, he'll respect you. Stay true to yourself. To all the spicy ladies, make life beautiful, take care, and see you in our next video. God bless.